Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
This morning, President Joe Biden finally accepted Trump's challenge to debate after months of hesitation. Now, the way it's being framed in the media today is that Biden challenged Trump to a debate, but if you just rewind a little bit, it really did start with Trump demanding a debate with Biden, and we'll tell you how it all played out in just a moment. Now, in a matter of hours, the details have all been arranged, setting the stage for what will probably be an underwhelming showdown, who knows, between the two geriatric men. So Trump accepted Biden's challenge and posted this on Truth Social, of course. Crooked Joe Biden is the worst debater I have ever faced. He can't put 2 sentences together. It's time for a debate so that he can explain to the American people his highly destructive open border policy, new and ridiculous EV mandates, the allowance of crushing inflation, high taxes, and his really weak foreign policy, which is allowing the world to catch on fire. I am ready, he writes, and willing to debate Crooked Joe at the 2 proposed times in June and September. I would strongly recommend more than 2 debates and, for excitement purposes, a very large venue. Although Biden is supposedly afraid of crowds. Is he afraid of crowds? I don't think that's true, but anyway. That's only because he doesn't get them. Okay, so he's afraid of crowds because he never has to deal with big crowds. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, just tell me when, I'll be there. So he accepted the challenge. He wants to do the debate. And he ends his post with, let's get ready to rumble, okay? So shortly after Biden sent out that video that we just showed you, he also posted this. I've received and accepted an invitation from CNN for a debate on June 27th. Over to you, Donald. As you said, anywhere, anytime, any place. CNN announced that Jake Tapper and Dana Bash will moderate that debate. And not long after, he responded to CNN. I'm sorry, not long after Biden, they responded to Biden. Biden posted again. I've also received and accepted an invitation to a debate hosted by ABC on Tuesday, September 10th. Trump says he'll arrange his own transportation. I'll bring my plane too. I plan on keeping it for another 4 years. So Trump accepted both debates. They're gonna have 2 debates. That's a good thing. They should have debates. It's the general election. I thought it was ridiculous when it seemed like everyone had accepted that there might not be a debate at all. So we'll see if there's gonna be more debates. He then went rogue and simultaneously proposed and accepted a 3rd debate. Donald Trump did. Let's take a look at that. Please let this truth serve to represent that I hereby accept debating crooked Joe Biden on Fox News. The date will be Wednesday, October 2nd. The hosts will be Brett Baer and Martha McCallum. Thank you. And then he signs off with DJT. Now, the Biden camp doesn't like this. They did not agree to a debate on Fox News, and here's what they said in their response. Donald Trump has a long history of playing games with debates, complaining about the rules, breaking those rules, pulling out at the last minute or not showing up at all, which he's done repeatedly in all 3 cycles he's run for president. He said he would debate President Biden anytime, anywhere, any place. In fact, he said and posted it dozens of times with varying degrees of comprehension and basic grammar. President Biden made his terms clear for 2 one-on-one debates, and Donald Trump accepted those terms. No more games, no more chaos, no more debate about debates. We'll see Donald Trump on June 27th in Atlanta if he shows up. So we'll see if that's gonna develop any further, but for now at least, it appears that there will only be 2 debates. Now, let's talk about debate reluctance and also some strict rules that are being set in regard to how these debates will go down. So it's funny to see the candidates get so excited about the idea of a debate. I mean, again, this should just be a given, that the default, standard operating procedures when you're dealing with a general election. Now, Trump had refused to debate any of his Republican primary opponents. And to be clear, I think that worked out well for him. He was so ahead of all of the other Republican candidates that he just decided to skip the debates and it didn't hurt him at all. But as soon as he won the primary, he started challenging Biden to debates. Biden spent a long time refusing to give a straight answer on whether he would be willing to debate Trump for this election. And let's take a look at this clip from February.
Mr. President, Donald Trump is ready to debate you right now. Do you accept?
On radio. What they said to immediately.
Immediately?
Yes.
Will you debate him?
If I were him, I'd want him to debate me too. He got nothing else to do.
Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's gonna make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you, thank you.
When asked in March if Biden would debate Trump, Biden said it depends on his behavior. Depends on his behavior. What does that even mean? You should say yes, this is a presidential election. Yes, I'm going to debate my opponent on the other side of the aisle. And it was only last month on the Howard Stern show that Biden stated that he would in fact be willing to debate. Now, Biden's campaign has set some rules and conditions on the upcoming debates with Trump. So there will be no live audience, just Biden, Trump, and the moderators. Third party and independent candidates will only be included if they can be on enough state ballots to potentially win 270 electoral votes. Let's keep it real. These rules are meant to keep RFK Jr. out of the debate stage. Okay, that's what these rules are really about. They would also need to win 15% of the vote in at least 4 national polls. That's all, again, obviously meant to keep RFK Jr. out of the debates. Now, Chuck Todd took a different line than the Biden campaign, and he argued that, including RFK Jr. might actually help Biden. Let's watch.
I think if you've ever spent a lot of time watching Robert Kennedy Jr. speak, I think if you're Joe Biden, you're gonna want him on the debate stage. Yes. I think there will be a point in the fall that they will actually see that as an asset. I'm sort of in the minority on this.
Well, let's just face it.
But I think that
he has a vocal issue.
He does.
It's an ailment.
And I think it will weirdly help Biden look less, any of his issues come across less, because I don't think a lot of people realize this about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And I think it'll be interesting, but if he's on, I'm not ruling out the possibility he makes it to the second debate.
Oh my God, that video. Okay, just understand what Chuck Todd is saying here. RFK Jr. has, a vocal issue. If you've ever heard him talk, you know what I'm talking about. And it sounds so bad that maybe it can help look Biden and how frail he appears, like not be so bad, not look so bad for viewers of the debate. I don't know if that's a good, I don't know if I would have said that out loud, but Chuck Todd did, so there it is. I mean, in that is the implication that physically Biden's not looking good. And so let's get someone on the debate stage that sounds really bad because of a vocal issue that could help Biden look a little better. Now, the Biden campaign requested some other things. So here's one of the other conditions. The debaters' microphones will immediately cut off when their time is up. I actually think that's the right way to do this, because you don't want to hear them speaking over each other and fighting. Like, you want to hear their answers clearly without interruption. And believe it or not, Sean Hannity agrees. Let's watch.
He proposed a format that I think is extraordinarily favorable for the president, which is if you're not talking, your mic's not on. I think one of the difficulties in 2020 is probably Donald Trump in that first debate was too aggressive. This will then kind of put, rails in place so that one person talks at a time, and the more Joe talks, I think the worse he does.
So Hannity in favor of shutting down their mics because he's concerned about some of the, I don't know if weaknesses is the right word, but some of the flaws that Donald Trump brings to the table during these debates. He's worried about Trump being a little too aggressive and turning voters off in that regard. So there you have it. The debates are gonna happen. There will be 2 of them at least. And I think overall that's a good thing. I think the American people deserve even though they've already seen them debate previously during the last election cycle, I think it's worth it to hear what they have to say about some of the issues impacting Americans today. What are their solutions for inflation? What about the migrant crisis? The war in Gaza? How do they differ from one another? I want to know, how would they differ from one another in responding to this war in Gaza? What would Trump do differently? I want to hear that answer, because he's been able to kind of like skirt these issues because of the fact that they haven't been on a debate stage. No one's really asked him, hey, what would you do differently from Joe Biden? You keep saying that you do a better job, but how? And so I think that the debates will be interesting, to say the least. I hope they ask good questions, and I hope the moderators do a decent job. But overall, obviously, I think there should always be debates between the two sides in a presidential election. Saying that we don't need to see that is a ridiculous thing to claim, but luckily, we're going to get 2 of them. So we'll be doing special coverage of the debates. We're currently working hard to plan that as we speak. So you guys can obviously tune into TYT as we cover those debates.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.